Hello, my name is Ethan and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Heist League 3.12. In this episode, I'm giving you guys 16 tips for endless stuff that I've come up with for now. So in my billion time of playing on this character, and I leveled up an elementalist to 86 or something in 10 hours, I have 16 tips for this event. In some sort of order, kind of, and then at the end, for the people who are following the build and have followed my guide on the Zombie-mancer, Necromancer thing, I'll update you on my progress and give you any extra tips specifically for the build. So, now, I'll talk to you guys. How you guys doing? I got the tips of the Endless Delve. So, we'll start it off first. How you guys doing? You start this thing off, you start here, and you start with 5 starter items. And you get like this buckler, which gives you 30 spell block, and I'm still using it to this day. That's how broken it is. And then there's also this claw, and you can get Scar of Fate, Nailed Fist. You get socketed gems have 50% reduced mana cost, life gain on hit, and hatred. Level 20 hatred at level 1. So you start with the claw, start with the buckler, and you'll start with hatred. Pretty cool. And then my second tip is before you go in to the first mine. It actually is real. Nice. You can get a convoking one. Cool. I have to add that. I have to. How'd you get? Okay. So before you start the first node, where you're gonna get destroyed by spiders, I'm warning you now. You're gonna get creep block stuck. Not enough damage. Not enough AOE. The fireball won't kill. So instead of doing that, you should start by talking to Lily here, and you can buy yourself a freezing pulse. Right at the beginning, whoops, freezing pulse, and you can buy zombie real quick, and then with freezing pulse you can attach elemental proliferation. So this makes elemental ailments caused by supported skill spread to other enemies in a radius of 12, and it has 20% chance to freeze, shock, and ignite. So you're gonna freezing pulse that has hatred, and it's super cold, and it's already freezing and chilling, but then it's gonna spread to everyone, so you're gonna have everything frozen. I didn't do this, but I now know that I should have, and it's completely broken. Alright. Tip number 3. You come into the game, and you got no resistances. And I'll be honest, guys, there's no hideout. This is all you have. There's no crafting bench. That's the biggest one we've noticed. That's the biggest hindrance to new players, probably. So my biggest recommendation is to pick up all rares and ID them for early resistances, especially your jewelry, amulets, rings, belt, because they don't have jewel sockets. You don't need unset rings right away. You can start with just regular like sapphire, ruby, whatever you're wearing to cap your resistances. What do they called? 2 stone? Yeah. Whatever you gotta do to cap those resistances in the beginning, I'd recommend picking up rares because they're gonna be better than what you can craft with no currency. Highly recommend, and then you can use the 2-3 links that you start with, and you can maybe find a 4-link chest plate, for example, and then craft on that only, and the rest of the gear maybe shit, maybe move speed boots focus on as a tip. Alright, tip number 4. You can ascend at level 33, 55, 68, and 75. And then when you hit level 33, you come back to the mine encampment, and you talk to the altar of ascendancy. This will appear. It wasn't here before, and it'll light up, and you can talk to it, and you can ascend. Cool. So that's pretty easy. Tip number 5. I started spirit offering at level 12 instead of where is it? Is 12? There's flesh, bone, here spirit. Okay, I started spirit instead of bone offering because I don't have mistress right away, and so at level 12, so I went spirit offering because I could give 20% elemental resistance and chaos res to my minions to help cap their resistances, because when they start out the game, they're missing 35. So, yup, trying to cap that. It's pretty fun. So we use Spirit Offering, get an easy 20, and then you get Sacrifice pretty early, and so they're capped pretty early. And this levels up too and gets more, so highly recommend Spirit Offering. But then what I also did is my first Ascendancy, I ascended Mistress of Sacrifice at 33, And so the Spirit Offering affected me and gave me resistances and Chaos Res. Half of the amount, so like 15%. It was helpful, it was nice. It was like a mini, if you had to compare it, it's like a mini Commander of Darkness. I didn't have to respec Commander of Darkness later. I just switched to Bone Offering when I capped my resistances without Spirit Offering. Okay, now tip number 6. This is about the Specters. You can raise 3 Theav Tool Specters, so this is what I have here. I did 3 because in delving we're moving around a lot, and they seem to not sync up, so they can do different vortexes, snowstorms, and so you'll have 3 snowstorms at once and giant AoE, and it'll actually fully cover your whole delve the whole time. It's amazing, and if you only had 1, it wouldn't be this good. So I highly recommend 3 Theav tools. And where can you find it? In a breach. Where can you find a breach? Past delve 10. So it's just like this. But past delve 10, and then my secret tip for this breach thing is you don't need to find a million breaches. You find 1 breach, start the breach, and if it isn't a tool breach, log out. Come back to the encounter again, and it'll be a different breach. It took me 7 tries. Another thing is after getting your tool, you could actually like not complete the node. Just log out with the tool, and then you could use that same breach for later. Alright, tip number 7. Utility flasks aren't on your filter past level 65. They're fixed on mine and on future NeverSync filters. So if you go get a new NeverSync filter, it'll be fixed. But if you didn't update a filter for this event, utility flasks aren't on your filter past level 65. They only fixed it after the start of the event because people found it. And so I fixed it, and he fixed his future filters. But yeah, heads up, if you can't find your utility flask after 65, that's why. Tip number 8. You can find Necromancer minion nodes in only 3 biomes. So that is Fungal Caverns, Petrified Forest, and Abyssal Depths. So these 3. Necromancer minion nodes is the one that I'll show you actually. I think I have one revealed that I didn't. Hold up. Wait a minute. Right here. So this is a minion node, what I'm talking about. And this will give you like Essence of Fear, Bound Fossils, and gear with minion mods. Kind of like how the fire one will give you the fire mods and etc. Yeah, you can find these. Highly recommend to do these early for like Essence of Fear and shit. Tip number 9. You can find Stygian Vices, which I found 2 of, in Abyssal City Chambers. So I found 1 in a city, and I found 1 at an Abyss Items node. So you saw how I showed you this minion node? There's one that's like this, but it's for Abyss Items. And so instead of it being this like weird corpse, it's like one of those abyss things you step on in a map, and it's just like a green circle, and you find that, and then that I can actually probably show you through PoE DB would be effective. I have the page. Let me do that. Abyss items. That was so easy. Perfect. Worth it. So this is what you'd be looking for. Abyssal Depths past depth 50, and you can see it's this green circle. That's it. It's so simple. Yeah, Abyssal Depths can only be found in Abyssal Depths. Okay, next tip. The side thing is that you want to find those to get Abyss Jewels. I've done a billion Abyss Cities and I haven't found Abyss Jewels, and so I don't even know if you can get an Abyss Jewel from an Abyss City, but I have found a Stygian from an Abyss City, so I have to find more of those Abyss item nodes to get my Ghastly Jewels. I still don't have them. Okay, tip number 10. Level 83 monsters starts at level 171 delve. So let me show you this. So 168, 170, 171. See that? 170 is 82, 171, 83. And then all biomes get unlocked at 220. Down here. You unlock all the biomes probably at this line. It's about this line. It's like 5. Yeah, you see a line in the fucking delve. Look at this shit. So funny. But yeah. Then monsters don't start getting harder until 236. So what I did is I'm delving sideways between 220 and 236. You can go past 236. You can go down further. It really doesn't matter because the scaling in the beginning is pretty minor, and our build, we're like upgrading it as we go. So we're like, for example, I got Fortify Boot, and I was already doing this content deathless, so then Fortify Boot, now I'm good, so I can push a little bit farther. Alright, so I'd recommend farming 220 to 236, maybe even a little bit past 236, because you'll get all your item level 83 gear, you can get all your influence gear, which I'll now talk about. Tip number 11, influenced items, Elder and Shaper. I found that cities have a high % of influence gear, so I've been doing all my cities and then all the armor nodes still trying to get Elder Helmet and Shaper Shield. So I found jewelry like you wouldn't believe. Okay, I found all the jewelry. I have the rings. I think, yeah, I have a Shaper ring. I have literally all of the jewelry, all the gear except like a million belts of influence. It's like another ring. It literally comes down to I can't get the Elder Helm and the Shaper Shield, and so I'm focusing specifically armor nodes right now, so that I can get more armor items. And that's when I got last night. I got the Elder Boot, which is super sick. And while we're doing this, we're also leveling up, so we're up to 95. But yeah, I would highly recommend cities, and then when you're done with your cities, armor nodes, because you're most likely going to have trouble with the armor. Tip number 12, you can get map region specific items like bone helmets and two-toned boots from delving from unusual armor chests. So an armor node, and then there's going to be one chest, it'll be called unusual armor. And you could technically, while on this topic, you can also find superior armor. It'll have 30% quality from delve, but I haven't used it once. Tip number 13. You can use Essence of Fear that you get from your minion node on a claw for minion damage, a one-handed claw, and then the claw weapon gains life gain for each enemy hit by attacks. And when I hit 4 times a second with my Cyclone, then I'm healing a lot. And there's multiple enemies, so it's pretty cool. The sustain is amazing from this. Tip number 14. I have Eye of Triula for stun immunity in the build. Instead of this, what you can do is you can take Unwavering Stance, and then you will be able to be stun immune, but you can't evade attacks. So this blind from Sand Stance would be completely useless because you can't evade attacks. It gives you 50% evade attacks. So instead, I would switch this to the Blood Stance. And in Blood Stance, you could equip this. You could link this with Maim, and then it'll be Super Maim. If you want some extra damage, also, that was an option the whole time. It's just that the defense from it was really good. The blind is amazing when you have bad armor. We still don't have our armor fixed because we're still running a Tabula and this buckler. When we can switch these out for real items, that's when I'll be happy. Which I have this Shaper body armor, and I'm trying to 6-link it. It's just really hard. It won't do it. Won't do it. It's stubborn. It's stubborn. Okay, next, tip number 15. I want to find a Shaper Shield for % life gain on block and spell block. Those are the 2 mods I'll be looking for on my Shaper Shield. Elder Boot for Fortify. So right now I actually finished my Elder Boot craft. It's Fortify, 25 move speed, and then I got Armor and Fire Res. Woo! I slammed the Fire Res and the chance to avoid being stunned with Exalts. Tip number, oh yeah, and then, so I did Fortify here. Then belt, I did increased life recovery rate, and you can also get % max life. I got increased flask life recovery rate, all res and life, so I kept it. And then the body armor Shaper, we're going for that +1 to level of socketed active skill gems. so you can +1 the zombie. Elder helmet for +2 minion damage, minion life if possible. That would be great. The Elder helmet will be +2 because you need an 86, and I don't think you can drop an influenced 86. And then my final tip is number 16. You can go to those minion nodes to farm Essence of Fear, bound fossils, and gear with minion mods such as +2 minion gems, +1 zombie. Minions deal increased damage, so I've gotten like this unset ring with 33% minion damage and it has 27 cold res, and it's an unset ring. It's pretty cool. And I found a bunch of other stuff like amulets with +1 zombie. It's not bad, right? It's not bad. It's pretty cool. I hope this helps. There's a lot of shit here. Tip number 17: upgrade your darkness and your light, and use flares. Oh, and another tip: when I'll show you one delve while I'm at it, and then I'll show you my build. Like, I'll go through my build and what I changed. Okay, so this is how I've been delving. So I'd run, and I'd cyclone to get the bone offering, obviously, and then I'd reach this point, and the cart's going that way, so I'd go this way. And what we learned is I don't have any dynamite anymore because I just threw it accidentally. So when I find a wall, I'll be screwed. But throwing dynamite and flares ruins phase run, so you can't phase run while throwing it. So I recommend to start cycloning and then to throw it. So I don't have any dynamite, so I'm gonna log. And I'm going to go back to the mine. Also, I found that the permanent holy relic despawns on logout. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so real quick, very important. I'm showing how I delve because it's cool. I think it's pretty cool. It'll help a lot of people probably. Showing them that I'm going slow and looting everything and checking all the side areas and really just enjoying it. I'm not just rushing to the encounter like I did before. It's not just about depth, it's about the experience and the loot, because we're SSF especially. We don't have a choice. Where else are we gonna get the loot? It's only delve. True. Okay, so we're looking for that wall that I passed. Somehow there was an extra shuddering. I don't really know. The wall should still be here. Threw another extra dynamite. Dynamite does damage to monsters, so you could use it for that still. I also changed the quality on the video today, so I hope it wasn't too bad. Hope it didn't mess anything up. I hope it looks better, if anything. We got extra hidden armor. So the reason to do fractured walls, especially in SSF, is there's fossils that you can only find behind the wall. So you actually have to do the fractured walls if you want those special fossils. And some of them, for example, that I wanted was perfect fossils to use. This is another tip. Tip number 17. You can use perfect fossils on your body armor that you're going to try for a 6-link or 5-link, and you can raise the quality. I stopped at 27 quality on my chest plate and started trying to 6-link it with that. You can go for more. If you want to think about it this way, the perfect fossil can roll between 15 and 30, so there's 15 rolls. So to hit 30, it's a 1 in 15. To hit 28, 29, 30, it's a 1 in 5. So I stopped at 127, and that's 4 of 16, 4 of 15, so it's like 3.75. Yeah, it's not. Anyways. Do this delve, so we have to kill this dude. That's why it's being held up, and 64% more monster life. So you can see that we're at, like, we could use a little more damage, but also that node was just not ending because I needed to kill that one specific monster, and our minions don't know that. Last thing is going over my build. So thank you guys for watching up till now about all my tips for endless delve. And now I'll talk about my character specific. So just for people following, what did I do different from the build guide to now? So we have Specter, Chaos Golem, Skitter Bots. I'm doing the 3 Theof tools. We didn't know what Specter, so there you go. I'm running the Chaos Golem. I added a Holy Relic. I don't think we were doing this. And I do Vitality instead of Herald of Purity. The Herald of Purity was a mistake. I just forgot about Vitality, and then I run Holy Relic now, because when I Cyclone, it's causing the Holy Relic boom, and it's some good damage. and then it also heals us. 115 life regen and 347 to the minions. It's pretty cool. And it's consistent and easy and good. And then I run my 4-link Cyclone, and so the difference here is that I have Bone Offering, Castle Channeling, Cyclone, and I run a Desecrate instead of Fortify to keep the Bone Offering up in encounters that I'm too slow and I'm not killing and not making corpses. So in a really beefy boss one, for example, it happened a few times. I'd want my Bone Offering always up, and so I didn't use Fortify, and I ran, and then I got Fortify after when we got the boot, which is super sick. Super sick. So I highly recommend this 4-link with the Desecrate. You don't have to run the Desecrate. You can run a 3-link of just Cyclone, Bone Offering, Castle Channeling, and it works. And then I highly recommend just using this shield all the way until we get the Shaper shield. And you can use a Bone Helmet for the extra 20 minion damage. And was there anything else? I started running Unset Rings. Oh yeah, the zombies, I run Pulverize, different. Instead of the melee fizz or minion damage, you run Pulverize. And so the reason is they have too much attack speed, even without frenzy charges and everything, and like our shitty skill tree. We just don't have enough ways to add flat damage like we normally would through like an enchant and the corruptions and jewels and cluster jewels and all the insanity that we would normally have. So instead I'm like, yo, let's lower their attack speed, increase their damage, and it increases the area of effect too. So we have the Pulverize, and then we also have the Fearsome Force. So this gives another 15 plus another 10 plus another 12 and another 12, so 24 plus 25, 49 plus the 35. So we're getting some big AoE. The only problem is that the base Slam AoE was nerfed of zombies a while ago, and so all of this scaling is less effective than it used to be. That's just part of them being nerfed. Kind of sucks, but it's still good. I still recommend Pulverize. It's very good. So overall, not many changes, to be honest. And then the only other one is casting damage taken Molten Shell, and I only have 1100 armor. So it's about giving me a little bit more armor, it's about giving me a little buff, but it's about not using Immortal Call because it's taking away the endurance charges, and I don't want that. Because I'm getting endurance charges when I block with the shield, and I want the 12% physical damage reduction. I don't want to lose it, so I went Molten Shell instead of Immortal Call, and then we're going Enfeeble as our curse with the casting damage taken. Yeah, just like the build. So not much changed. And then the skill tree, I don't think much changed here either, except for I don't take the Redemption because I think that I don't want the attack speed, and I don't have the full life wheel yet, and I'm at 95. I have 2 dex nodes because dex issues with my shitty gear and all my influence gear and my uniques, and yep, that's my progress. So thank you guys for watching, thanks for hanging out. Now I'm gonna get this video up for you guys, so thank you guys for all the support. I can't do this without you guys. On this video, can we hit I want to hit a lot of likes, okay? Because I know for sure likes right now, for some reason YouTube algorithm loves likes. So if you guys want to support me, and don't be a leech, like the video, like it. Let's see how many likes we can get. Let's see what this does to the video. I want to know if it's broken. Just like everything, breaking, min-maxing, let's fucking break YouTube. Like the video. Thanks, guys. Now I'm going to take this opportunity to thank my Patreon and my YouTube members who financially support the channel. I can't do this without you guys. So thank you guys for all the financial support, and thank you to anyone new who joins the Patreon or the YouTube members today, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!